Hello, my name is Yayan. I'm 25 years old and I'm the Special Projects Admin Assistant for the National Autism Team. Outside of work, I have a university degree in creative media. I've got quite a big interest in filmmaking, music, general media, graphic design, that sort of stuff. I've also got two dogs, which I like to take walking every once in a while, so that's a little bit about me. In terms of my job itself, as I mentioned, the Special Projects Admin Assistant for the National Autism Team, which is based in the WLGA, or the Welsh Local Government Association, which is a local government association that supports local government and protects local democracy in Wales. But as for the National Autism Team itself, it's a fantastic group of people who do fantastic work. They work closely with the Welsh Government and local ASD leads to provide resources, information and training opportunities around autism for autistic people, parents and carers, as well as professionals to essentially help Wales become more aware and understanding of autism. As for my role and my duties, on top of the generic admin duties of processing reports, responding to emails and general office duties, a large part of my role involves engagement. And so that's engaging with autistic people to essentially ensure that the autistic voice, or the voice of the autistic community, is reflected in our work, so that our resources are relevant and genuinely helpful to them. Whether this be by creating online surveys, or attending focus groups or discussion forums, essentially engaging with our stakeholders. And as well as that, I'm also putting my media degree to good use by putting together video clips, adding subtitles to the existing video resources that the team have, and formatting different documents with graphic design software and that sort of stuff as well. In terms of how I found this job, I initially met with my advisor, Morgan, from Elite, and we discussed the skills and interests that I had at the time, and looked into ideal or potential jobs. So I let him know that it was ideally something office-based that I was interested in. And so from there, Morgan informed me about the position, and after I confirmed my interest, he sort of met with my employer and set up an informal meeting. And following from an interview, I was offered a work trial of about 2 months. As for what support I received, I was given a lot of help, information and time to prepare for both the interview and the job itself. I was offered the assistance of benefits, and also during both the interview and the work trial phase, I had support from Gemma, my support worker, just to initially help me settle into the role. But then following on from there, after the work trial period ended, I was offered the opportunity of carrying on the role on a more permanent basis under employment of the WLGA, which I obviously accepted, and about a year and a half later, I'm still working in that role now. In regards to what I've learned or improved within my work, I'd say that there are several things which I've improved on, which initially I would have struggled with. First and foremost is my confidence in meeting new people, communicating with people, contributing to team meetings, and generally presenting information in the proper way. I've also learned about operating as a team, working together as a team, working together with other people, and using my strengths to sort of help in achieving whatever the common goal that we have is. And I'd also say organisation and prioritisation of workload, figuring out at the start of each week what tasks take priority over others, which then also helps create a structure that I can follow going forward with my work during the week. As for the challenges that I faced during the COVID-19 lockdown, I'd say the biggest challenge, seeing as engagement is such a big part of my role, is trying to engage with stakeholders when attending in-person events isn't possible at the moment, and trying to find ways around that, especially considering the amount of anxiety that's present at the moment that everyone, not just autistic people, are feeling. So that's one challenge. And on top of that, just the lack of face-to-face time with colleagues has made things a bit more difficult. So as for how I've overcome these challenges, I've adapted, like everyone who's still working at the moment, to online and remote working. I've learned how to use Microsoft Teams and Zoom and things of that nature with both my colleagues and stakeholders. And in terms of the engagement, it's just been a case of finding alternative methods of engagement. So whether it's having a stronger social media presence at the moment, or creating online surveys with people that they can feedback that way, or simply emailing people, linking in with networks of people to make contact with, again, autistic people, parents, carers, professionals. And I think just like we're doing with everything else, it's been a case of finding alternatives that make our jobs possible at the moment. So that's more or less it. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
My name is Jack Nelson, and this is my Engage to Change story. I joined the Engage to Change project in August 2018, and my first experience was having a home visit from the employment officer for Goriad. As well as explaining the project to me, it was also an opportunity for them to get to know me as a person, and also it was a chance for me to say what I'd want to get out of the project. Overall, the meeting went really well, and I completed the necessary enrolment forms. Then a couple of weeks later in September, I completed a 5-day introduction to work training course. Alongside a group of peers, we were given a good insight into the world of work, such as the types of jobs that are out there, what's expected from us as employees, and also what we should expect from our employers, such as knowing the health and safety protocols, the uniforms to wear, etc. I enjoyed the course overall, and it was from then when I began to move out of my comfort zone. I'd go into the town centre and get my own lunch, and also do some independent shopping. After the course, there was a period of non-contact, but there were regular updates. I was told I'd get a phone call about the next phase. Then 2019 came, the Engage to Change year I call it, and in March I got that phone call to meet my job coach for the first time. So after a home visit, we agreed to have a one-to-one appointment at my local library, which fortunately for me is just down the road. From then on, I learned about the job application process, such as updating my CV, filling in application forms, using different job sites, etc. As time went by, I began to make links within my local community. I became a familiar face with the library staff, and I also grew in confidence when I took my dog out for a walk. As a result, I've made numerous friends. With the help from a job coach, I applied for numerous jobs within my chosen career, and I even considered college courses. But a couple of months later in July, I found a job advert from a surprise source. You might have heard of it, it's called Facebook. I know. There was a housekeeping position going at the Oreo Hotel in St. Asaph, and after I spoke with a job coach, I sent off my CV. Then a couple of days later, I got a phone call from the employment officer I met from Goriad, who had visited the hotel on my behalf, explained my position, and managed to arrange a special contract for me. I was given a 2-week work trial, and if that went well, I'd then be given a 6-month placement. I still have my job coach support, where I'd have a monthly review meeting, and I'd also be given the option of travel training. So I gave it a go, and as a result, it was a complete success story, and I got the job. So as a housekeeper, my main responsibilities are preparing the bedrooms for new guests, whilst making sure that the hotel looks presentable. Having the opportunity to do this video has given me time to reflect on my achievements. So as a result of having a job and everything I've done in Engage to Change, I can now be relied upon to do certain tasks by myself and not feel stressed. I understand the housekeeping system much better now, and now I know my own strengths within the team. And the thing that I enjoy most about having a job is working with the housekeeping staff, getting to know them as people, and also earning their respect. And outside of work, I can use public transport independently. I can instigate conversations on my dog walks, and also my problem-solving skills have improved dramatically. I am proud of what I have achieved, but the moral of this story is none of this would have been possible if not for the involvement of Engage to Change. They helped me to help myself to overcome challenges, and I've been able to learn skills that will set me for life. I've said this more than once, and I'll say it again and again. Thank you to everyone involved in the Engage to Change project. You've changed my life for the better.